out the names and I didn't really care to. I just want the money, so the mission I adhere to is simple. I join some resistance clique, blow up the reactor, then we split, that's it. And they go on about saving the planet, all the precious resources.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of GAMERZ411. I'm your host, Payback Ironman. With me today, we got the usual group: Hung Fat, Geo, Kristen, and Mr. Cole Phelps himself, Travis Hilliard. Welcome, guys, as usual. So this week it was some substantial releases. One of the big launches was, of course, with the PlayStation Vita. I've been seeing them all over the place. Actually, I saw quite a few people in the streets actually with them today, believe it or not. Which obviously I'm not going to ask somebody, can I try your Vita? Because that would just be really awkward. But to give us more insight on it, to give us some more hands-on experience, here is Hung Fat and Travis. Travis, Hung Fat? How's the Vita treating you guys?
I'm loving it, man. I've had it since last Tuesday, and honestly, it's been nonstop go. The games are phenomenal. The hardware on it is just unbelievable. I mean, I would dub this as the best handheld gaming console I've ever played, or maybe ever came out. I'm loving the games. I can't wait to see what else comes out, and it's nonstop chaos. And there's a few little things I like to see Sony change a little bit with the PSN interactions, but we'll get to that later. It's not that big of a deal. Other than that, it's been a pretty smooth launch. The party chat is rock solid. I did that last night with a couple friends, and Travis was in there with us last night. They did a great job with the party chat. It's crystal clear. I played virtual tennis with my buddy, a friend of mine, while we were in party chat, ran silky smooth. So other than that, man, I am absolutely loving the Vita. In fact, I'm playing it right now during the podcast.
I knew you were.
I can't get.
You're always playing a game.
I can't give it high enough praises. So that's all I got.
I wanted to ask you a question. When you sign in with the Vita, when you sign online, do you have the same friends list as you do on PS3?
Yes.
Yes, identical. But the only problem is people on PS3 can't see you online. You can see them and you can message them and they can message you back. But the weird thing is like if you're sitting on your PS3 right now, Payback, and I'm online playing Wipeout, which I'm doing now, you can't see me. It's like I'm invisible. So that's something Sony needs to
No, it's a feature. You can turn it on and off.
How do you do that?
In your settings. One of the things when you go to mess with your profile, I turned mine, it defaults to off.
Okay, wait a minute. You set it on the PlayStation 3 or the Vita?
On your Vita. I had to find out about it because I was going through and messing around with everything when I was at work, and it said, "Do you want to have it so that way my friends can see me?" And I'm like, I don't know. Fuck it. Sure, why not?
Where is it at underneath? It's underneath settings.
I'd have to go find it. It's somewhere in the settings.
I'll find it.
But you can do the voice chat though, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Through the Vita to your friends list.
Yeah.
Like through people on PlayStation. Oh wow.
No. They have
PlayStation.
They have to be
just Vita to Vita.
Yeah, because it doesn't have the PlayStation 3 doesn't have enough RAM for chat.
Yeah, it doesn't have enough dedicated RAM. That's the problem.
Wow. That's kind of ridiculous.
Well,
that's the way it was designed back in 2004. I mean, it's 512 RAM just like the 360, but it's divided up to 256 main RAM and 256 video RAM, and that's where they run into the problem.
Yeah.
But oh well.
That's unfortunate. What games have you guys been playing? What have you picked up?
I've bought Uncharted, Rayman. What else? The one that Hung Fat got me turned out on. What's the one you got? I just finished playing.
Stardust?
Oh, Stardust.
Delta.
Yeah.
I downloaded some demos of Unit 13.
Great game.
Is that shit or good?
I'm not a big fan of Zipper's products. It's okay. You can't play Uncharted on the console because I mean the OLED screen is so gorgeous that going from Uncharted and the vibrant colors to switching over to the very muted colors that are of Unit 13, it plays well, but it just looks. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. It looks dated.
It does look a little dated. I'll agree with you that one. Yeah, definitely.
And then I mean, like the Super Stardust Delta, It's just freaking crisp and gorgeous and runs butter smooth,
Mhm.
and it.
Have you tried out Rayman yet or
Yes,
no?
yes, I tried it out at work today. I
Yeah,
love
Rayman
it.
looks
I mean,
nice.
it'll,
I have that on PS3. How is it on the Vita?
it's comparable. That screen, that OLED screen, brings that vibrant color so much to life. I would say it's comparable with my my big screen TV.
Wow.
Yeah, they're crisp. Like your colors are super vibrant. Your darks are super dark. Your lights are super light. It is amazing, amazing quality in the visual department.
You guys tried any like of the applications, that sort of shit, like Netflix? How does that work on there? If anyone's if tried
I've
any of
done
that yet.
I've done Twitter. I've used Twitter, and Twitter's perfect. It's great.
I haven't had time yet to set up either one of those. That's one of my things this weekend I'm gonna do because I want to give a in-depth, experience from me on the Vita.
And
Okay.
I just want to ask you guys just one more thing.
Sure.
Like over the past few days, I've been like, when I get one, I'm still pondering on whether or not just to get the games digitally
Digital.
or get the actually hard copy. You guys are, I think you guys are going the more digital route, right?
Yep.
I'm going 100% digital.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
for me having it in handheld. This goes into the same category as my iPhone 4S and my iPad 2. I want everything right then and there. I don't need a game like some of these games that are coming out. If you look at the sizes, they're barely a gig and a half.
Yeah.
I don't need a plastic little memory card, a bunch of memory cards in my pocket while I have my Vita in my other hand changing stuff out. I just rather have everything conveniently on the memory stick. But what's nice about it, Sony has that content manager that's on your PS3, or you can download the software to your PC or Mac and back up all your games and game saves to either machine, which is great. So that sealed the deal for me. Plus, 5-10% off. That's fine. Make it convenient for me.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
Yeah. Was it $5 off of Uncharted? Because I bought it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
bought it.
$5 cheaper. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that shit adds up before you know it. The only thing I noticed and I really really like is all of the interfaces. The user interface is so smooth and seamless. I mean,
It
the
is.
touchscreen. There's a lot of touchscreen devices out there. I would even go on and say it's beating most of them because it is so smooth. It's not like some are either too jerky or they're too overly sensitive. I mean, right out of the box, it's like adjusted so well. I mean, there's no huge, issues from a touchscreen because I don't understand when the PlayStation version in Japan came out, when the Vita in Japan came out, that everyone was having issues with their touchscreen and all this stuff. I don't know what the cause of that was, but I'm not having any problems with the touchscreen whatsoever. Nothing's getting bogged down. Nothing's crashing. Nothing like that. It's been a seamless experience. I mean, Hung, have you had any problems with like the touchscreen whatsoever?
No, the touchscreen has been. I mean, honestly, a lot of like Apple has a lot of patents on touchscreens for technology. They got like 28 or 29 patents last time I checked, and the industry had a hard time getting around those patents because Apple had them so locked down for like smoothness, rate of speed from your hand to the glass. I mean, all kinds of stuff. But whatever Sony did, it is just as responsive and intuitive as any iProduct I've ever touched. And I'm a huge Apple guy, and I've always been amazed at how great their touchscreen is. But this is it's phenomenal. Sony did an incredible job with the whole operating system in general, and then the touchscreen it's a lot of people are like, oh, it's just gonna be kind of gimmicky with the front rear touchscreen. No, it's not. It really is spot on responsive. So to answer your question, yes, it's incredible.
How do you feel about like the analog sticks?
It could be it could be a little longer for
Yeah.
me.
No,
I'm
I would agree
6'5".
with you. I would agree with you.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is small.
And I'm sure somebody's going to come out with a little add-ons and raise them a millimeter or two would be fine. But don't forget I'm 6'5", so I have pretty big hands and I'm adjusted to it pretty well. But if they were just really about a millimeter and a half, slightly bigger, that would be awesome. What I was thinking at E3, and I told one of the Sony reps, I go, man, the dual analog sticks on the Vita is incredible. When we played at the PlayStation backstage party after the press conference, I'm like, man, I wish they were a little bit longer, or it'd be really cool if they popped in and out of the Vita. Like when you get ready to play, you hit the little button and both analog sticks would raise out of the console face. That would have been cool. And the guy's like, yeah, we thought about engineering like that, but that's big time redesigning and money there.
Yeah, I'm sure it would have, with that kind of release mechanism, that would have increased the pricing on it.
Yeah, so I'm sure somebody like a company that's local in my area that makes analog sticks. What's it? Oh, Control Freak.
Yeah,
so maybe they'll
Trevor.
Maybe
Yeah.
I might have to get with Trevor and say, Trevor, I got a great idea, man. He's probably already thinking about it, because that's the first thing that came to mind with the Vita, was that the analog sticks just a little bit longer would have been great. But other than that, I've had the Vita for almost 10 days now, and I've been playing it pretty much every day. I've pretty much gotten used to where it's not big of a deal, but just a little bigger. But hey, you never know. It could be in the Vita 3500 model.
Hey, did you and something I want to talk about real quick before Payback moves along or gives it to somebody else. Remember when there was that whole controversy and everyone was so butthurt about the PlayStation Vita as a name and going from the NGP? You know what?
NBG was a code name anyways.
Yeah, but I look back and it's like, how quickly was that forgotten, and how quickly does everyone love the name Vita? I mean, it actually sounds, after having it in your hand, playing with it and playing with the experience, it actually sounds and plays like an adult piece of equipment instead of, PlayStation portable gaming system. I mean, it's an adult piece of equipment. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just a comment on what you said about people getting mad at the name. Well, welcome to today's industry. It's all about trends and fads, and whatever's popular, people like to either dog on it or praise it. It's just the way shit goes.
Oh,
but but Borderlands. Let's going on to another game. Borderlands 2. The trailer finally gave us some solid information this week. We got to see some new classes and some new release date. And to see a release date, but I'll let Kristen talk about that, because she seems to be all giggity over that.
Of course. I mean, first of all, you see this beautiful trailer that's edited to dubstep. And I just got back from a rave, and I was like, yes! In my head, I'm like, I feel like I want to party right now. And it opens it up, you see all sorts of beautiful cuts right into the music. And then you start to see the new characters. You see, Santiago, your big, buff, burly guy. And then they bust out, this character named Zero. And you're like, oh, snap. You got this guy with his energy sword, busting out stuff. They got a new siren, because Lilith isn't the siren anymore. And I'm, getting all excited, because I don't know about you guys, but I really liked the original Borderlands. It kind of spoke to me. I liked the graphics. I liked how it was really different. And I really liked the gameplay. So, of course, I'm really excited to see all these, new ideas and new things. And they kept in all the core aspects in the trailer. They showed the 4-player co-op, they showed the 2-player split screen, and I'm just super incredibly stoked for it all.
Gio, I know you're a huge Borderlands nut. What class are you looking at?
Well, I don't know what class 0 is, but I'm already going for that. Okay. That one is going to be the one. The one thing I loved about the trailer with the 2-player is the split screen is no longer vertical; it's horizontal.
Yeah, fuck.
Yes.
Oh, you don't have that at the side of your head where you can't see nothing left of you. So, that looks good. I'm hoping this is good. Plus, what I'm hearing is, when you're playing co-op, on your couch, you and your buddy sitting on the couch, you can go online with your buddy and join, and someone else can join your party. So you can be playing 2 players at home, and a third one can join in online as well. So that excites me a lot. Plus, with the whole, they've changed up the whole. Leveling up your character, they've added new stuff and everything. They've totally changed the siren, because if you look at the trailer, and she doesn't really do a phase walk anymore from what I see. She's more of a controller like I hate to talk about this game, but DC Universe Online, like
Yeah.
as a controller, and that where it's controlling and you can you work to aid your characters a long distance, nearby, anything like that. And control groups and that. That's what I'm sort of thinking she is more gearing to, is as a controller and as a healer. So I'm excited in that. Like I can't wait. I can't wait for the story to unfold because there's no more claptraps. There's one claptrap left, and that is claptrap. And he because this goes after years after the revolution, the Revolution actually, and after that, and Handsome Jack is in there. You see him, and like he's got
Scooter.
that. Yeah. Oh, fuck! Scooter's gonna be awesome. I can't wait to see what he creates. And it's like I can't wait. Like September 18th can't come fast enough. Unfortunately, my backlog is gonna hate me even more come September 18th because, well, with the first one, I sat on it for 7 months straight, and I'll probably do it again with this one. So, and I won't mind. So, like, Gearbox, this is ultimate gold. I like their first one was like phenomenal. Like, it was my game of the year for that year, and and there was nothing that could beat it. And so, like, and I'm hoping that they keep up the same quality and everything for this one. A few tweaks and changes, but not too much, because if you change it too much, and because some of the fans, the things that they want changed, well, they're just dumbasses, and they want a totally different game, and I don't want that. I want Borderlands. So I hope that it sticks with that, and I hope there's a lot of DLC story mode, because like I love the stories. So
Yeah, like that, like the DLC they did in Borderlands 1 was like that's how you fucking do DLC. Give these substantial, huge add-ons that give you totally different areas that were so different from the original game. Like, I mean, the original experience didn't even have like zombies, but the zombie add-on gave you like a whole new island to explore, gave you totally new enemy types. I mean, yeah, Gearbox, they really know what the hell they're doing over there. But in terms of what I would use, I'm hoping the Gunzerker guy. I hope he's up to what I like.
Yeah.
oh, and sorry, I don't mean to interrupt,
go
but
ahead.
there's a whole new, I can't remember what it's called. There's a whole new type of like elements that you use too, where when you hit it, where you shoot them and it actually weakens them to more damage to that same type. So from what I hear is if the Gunzerker is using that and then he's got another weapon, it's like it basically will create more damage, like all up. And then there's new grenades, where it basically will shoot out lightning bolts to other enemy to the enemies, instead of like where your grenades before they didn't have something like that. I don't know like what it's called or anything, but it looks like it would look like chain lightning and that. So
It's gonna be
Interesting.
cool.
But I think that's all we got for this half of the show. Kristen, you want to take us into break?
Of course. All right, so we got the break song. Another rap from YouTube Legends, Epic Rap Battles of History. This song is called Master Chief versus Leonidas. Enjoy.
Master Chief! Was it?
who's the hardest? The biggest mistake that you've ever made. I'll toss you like a frag grenade. I'll stomp you in the face with my sandals and rage, and tonight we shall ride in the shade. You puny fans of fat nerds on computers, jerking up the games, giving themselves first-person shooters. Your armor's hard, but my abs are harder. You're in my hood now, chief. This is Sparta! So fast, Cortana says you're Greek, so why don't you stick these lyrics up your ass? Stick with a monument to my sins. You're the soldier that needs you to be. Ain't no way that you could beat me. Even my initials spell MC. While you and your companions were all camping in a canyon, took a campaign to your house and showed your queen my plasma cannon. They should have thrown your rhymes over the cliff because they're sickly. You will not enjoy this, but it will be over quickly. I've been better battles with my 6-year-old son. I don't need firepower when I'm rocking these guns. I'm Kane. You sleep in a freezer in outer space. I look you in the eyes. We get too much of a bitch to show your face. You got a bad case of no shirt there, Fabio Flintstone. Your whole plan got messed up by a hunchback with Down syndrome. 300 asses need a kicking. Get more teabags and Lipton. So watch and quit your bitching. My trigger fingers itching.
All right, welcome back to the second half of the show. Let's just get right into it. We talked last week about the Mass Effect 3 demo, but now we're going to just go back into it, but this time with the online portion of the demo, which was made available just last Friday. Honestly, my impression, I do have a very negative impression of it, because one, like, from what was told about it and what I read on BioWare's blog, when they talked about it first, they said that like it was going to be like really deep. It was going to have like, it was going to affect your storyline and the grand scheme of things. But like when I'm playing this, I'm like thinking to myself, okay, this literally all it is. It's you and it's 4 people total just playing horde mode from Gears of War, and you're just staying in a very like small area. And I'm just thinking to myself, like, how the fuck is me and 3 other people defending, like, some small-ass area supposed to help Commander Shepard save the galaxy? Like, how... I don't get the logic in it. And not only that, it just didn't feel, like, really, like, cool. I didn't feel like a badass when I was playing it, like how you do when you really play the single player. It just felt really uninspired. It just felt like it felt like just such a been there, done that kind of thing. It honestly felt no different than Gears of War's horde mode, Uncharted's survival mode, like the zombies from Call of Duty. Like it honestly just felt like that, but like, and just to make it like, just what really gets me though is the fact that like some way, like just this holding and defending this really small area is supposed to help my single player game, and it's supposed to affect the storyline. Like I think it seems really stupid the way it's executed. I think it just would have been better if like it had actual missions to it. Like you get dropped in somewhere with your team, you go from point A to point B, like your mission changes, like things could go wrong. I wish it actually like was a real mission instead of just fucking fighting wave after wave of enemy. You know, it just, I don't know. I really don't even want to play this when I get the full game now. It just really left that bad of a taste in my mouth. It really felt generic and uninspired and really let down.
See, I'm
Travis, you think differently.
Yeah,
Go
definitely.
ahead.
Well, yeah, the whole time I was like, okay, let him go, take it. No, there are objectives. It's not just a straight up horde mode. They're like, when at least in my time playing it,
I know there's objectives, but like you're just in the same area.
For this, they're not going to give you the whole cake. We all know how demos are. It's a kind.
Well,
it's kind
I don't know. I made it to like wave 12, and I'm still in the same fucking area.
No. You have to remember, these things, the way the multiplayer works, is as you play the game, there are going to be more set pieces throughout the game that are going to be the side, whatever you want to call them, multiplayer co-op side missions. But the way that they're, if you think about it from a militaristic standpoint, a lot of times there are just straight up like conflicts, and it pretty much is. Hell, watch Saving Private Ryan. Well, what's pretty much the end of it is them defending a bridge, and it was just wave after wave after wave against a small group of people, and that's pretty much a very similar premise. Now, from what I understand, a little bit of information has been divulged about how that has really going to play a role in the main campaign, and what it is it's just supposed to give you assets to go into how well you perform in these co-op missions dictates what kind of resources you're going to have going into the story or certain parts in the story. So there is an incentive, like say you're doing really shitty in the main campaign. So at one point in time, you can go into the co-op, do really, really good, and that will carry over and then give you in your next firefight or whatever encounter in the story, it will give you a boost. So, because I know a lot of times when people were playing Mass Effect, like they would make one bad decision after another, and that it would kind of trickle down to giving them a worse experience. You'd either lose a character, you wouldn't do something right, and it would really adjust your gameplay. I don't know what class you played as. I played as the Vanguard, and I love that from Mass Effect 2. That was my favorite class. And playing it in multiplayer, I felt like a beast. I mean, the recharge, I would have liked to see, the only thing I noticed after playing it more and more, I would have liked to see the recharges be a little bit faster, but I don't know if that's going to be something. I know the skill trees are deep. I would have liked to see that at least you started off with a little bit more, because one of the big incentives from Mass Effect, the actual game, the story campaign, is as you're using these skills, you get to use them so fast that you really feel really powerful. And in the co-op, maybe it's just because it's starting off and I didn't get a chance to level up or anything to a deep extent or get really that beefy feeling, but it felt a little watered down. But how many multiplayer games, I'll take perfect example, Resistance 3. When you first start playing the multiplayer, you don't feel beast. But as you level up and you get perks and you start upgrading your character, you become a monster, and you could feel it. You feel that power. And I could see that they're pretty much taking everything that works in the single player's progression tree and just transferring it right on over to the multiplayer. How effective they're going to be on the grand scheme, we won't know until we get the full retail copy in, because I'm sure they're holding shit back. And because you wouldn't give all your eggs, you wouldn't say, here's everything I have to offer right now before you actually put it on store shelves, because if people don't like it right then and there, a couple weeks before the game comes out, you're dead in the water. You're dead in the water. People will only play it for the single player, and it's over. It's a wraps for your multiplayer, which all that money is gone. So I'm sure we've only seen the tip of the iceberg with it and how it's really going to play out. I felt beefy and I felt powerful. It had so much visceral. What class type did you play with when you played on the co-op?
I use soldier.
That's probably why the soldier's a little bit more tactical, and it's all there. I mean,
Well, I know soldier is the strongest guy. Like
Yeah.
I always like the guys that have the most health, most weapons. That's me. But like, if this is all it's gonna be, then fuck this mode.
it's possible.
If it's just me holding down this one fucking area, like the fucking galaxy is in jeopardy, for God's sakes, and like this is what we do, we're just gonna hold down a little fucking square area and defend it. Like, I don't know. I think that's fucking very underwhelming.
And that's
stupid.
You could be spot on, but at least BioWare's done a really good job with this franchise and really delivering it. There are some weak points of the franchise. One, even though there's all these grand scheme premises going on in the backdrop, in the actual combat, with the exception of a few events in the actual combat department, you never really get that sense. There's no, especially in part 2, there's only maybe 1 or 2 scenes in part 2 that actually, from a gameplay perspective, let you feel like you're a part of this grander scheme conflict. The narrative, yeah, but not in the gameplay. Because a lot of the game has been, with the exception of part 1, which is a lot more open in content, part 2 is a lot more linear, a lot more corridor-ish, and that sold really well. That sold way better than the first one. So there's a possibility that they could be taking the same round, saying, hey, that worked more, so let's carry that same kind of mindset over to the part 3. But, because they have crafted such a good title, I'm playing more of like I'm optimistic because they have yet to burn me with the franchise. So that's my take on it. I highly doubt. I've yet to see a developer of their caliber put out a product, a demo taste, and have it be 110% reflective of the final product. And they're a big name. BioWare's a good developer, so I mean, we'll get our teeth sunk into it in what, 2 weeks? 2 weeks, right?
Yeah, just about.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, I won't even be playing it when it comes out, just because another high priority game is coming out. But
is that with a Street Fighter or something like that?
yep.
Yeah, I figured as much.
But it's just like if I don't know, I'm just thinking this is what we're gonna be getting, man. I'm 90% sure this is what we're gonna be getting when it comes out. Just different environments, but you're doing the same thing over and over again.
And I was so looking forward
And,
to play with you.
And I thought that, like, the way, well, obviously, I guess it's just, developers talking out of their ass as usual.
Mm-hmm.
They were saying that, like, when I watched it on game trailers when it was first revealed, it was going to have a substantial impact on the single-player game. But now you're telling me that it gives you a boost?
It's pretty much
Fuck.
like
Fuck that.
I don't know. I mean, they haven't clarified on what that boost is. And all it is really, it's supposed to bolster your assets and resources. They never really went into detail and said, well, that means you're going to have like better guns, the story's going to change.
The way it should be, like, let's just say, like, okay, you're on a different planet in the multiplayer, you do whatever, there's a mission you do, and then you go to that same mission, that same planet when you're in the single player, and what happened in the multiplayer, like, you killed a lot of enemies, you reduced the minimized the enemies, you defeated like one of those huge robots there, so that's not gonna, like, shit, if you did stuff like that in the multiplayer and then you play the single player, you would have a reduced enemy count. Some of the harder encounters wouldn't happen because you exhausted the enemy's resources. It'd be cool if they did shit like that.
It's possible.
Or like let's just say in the end when, like, you go head on with the Reapers, you get like more assistance from the other races, or like other vanguards or whatever soldiers show up. Yeah, I don't know how the ending turns out, but like I'm just saying, like, things like that happen where like it increases like the amount of backup you have. Like, let's just say if there's a huge war that really goes on, like the amount of backup that comes at the end increases due to the amount of time you spent in the multiplayer.
That would be cool. I mean, the concept really hasn't been done before in gaming, so realistically, this is an open chance for them to run with this philosophy. And if they pull it off well, through either however well it's established in the game, I mean, if it's done, to a moderate success, they might hear complaints like this or ideas from people like you that might encourage them to say, okay, well, let's add some expansion packs, because I mean, look at how much content came out for Mass Effect 2. There was a lot of content that came out for Mass Effect 2 post-launch. And
the majority of it was just guns, though.
Oh no, they had all of Liara's
add-ons. Yeah,
they had
the
that.
Shadow Broker. They had like 3 real things, but then the rest was just
there was a lot of bonus just content. But I mean, even if they say worst case scenario, say there is 3 expansion packs, and each one of them really focuses on, or at least say 2 of them, focus in on the co-op and expanding what that means and what the depth of that can be. They're the type of developer who likes to experiment with that kind of stuff. So I mean, it's a cool thing that they're taking a leap. Now, are they talking out of their ass? It's possible. But I mean, in 2 weeks we'll know, right? We'll be able to be like, well, you won't, but I will. I know I'll be playing that shit. And hopefully Gio and Kristen and maybe Hung Fizzle will be playing with me, so that way I don't have to play with 3 randoms.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Well,
Possibly.
Depends where I am on backlog.
Damn it, you people suck!
well, you're gonna be on your
I'll be
own.
there. I'll be there. What's up?
Okay, see, at least there's one of them that's down to ride.
I'm working my backlog.
Dude, you'll be,
If I wanted to
I'll
play
believe
Horde
it
mode,
when
I'd
you're
play
done.
Gears of War.
I'll retired from work before you're done with your backlog. There won't even be consoles anymore. They'll be implanted into your head.
Yeah,
Well,
virtual reality.
You'll finish your backlog the moment that somebody gets a console.
Geo will. Shots fired.
I'm sorry, it's the caffeine. I'm bad today. I know.
It's
Shots
10 o'clock
fired.
Thursday night. Do you know where your trolls are?
I found payback. I got one.
YouTube.
I got one.
I'm right here. Right here. But I don't know. I'm hoping, you know, like always, I hope it turns out right. But just the way it's going, it's probably going to be skipped entirely by me, and I'm like.
That's sad.
But moving on. I actually just picked this game up before we got on tonight. I know Gio and Travis have it. Why don't you guys tell us, like, what have you guys thought so far of Asura's Wrath?
I'll let Gio go first because he's had less time with it than I have.
Okay, well, the little time that I've had with it, Asura's Wrath, basically, it's very picturesque. It is totally, like, it's based on an Asian myth of Asura, and which is the father of Mithra, and blah 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 blah. His wife gets killed, and all and all. And all. Anyways, and he's fighting against the other 7 guardians, and with that, when you're playing, there are quick time events, but the quick time events have purpose, where you're not just hitting circle because and that to do something else where it doesn't really have purpose, but like you have to push the L and R to pop when you pop out your extra arms to the left, to up and down, and then your 6 arms pop out, and you have to do this. Pretty much all the quick time events have purpose, and it sort of works with it, and like I like it. It's a good game. Like it's not going to be the greatest game in my library. I can't say that, but I can say it is a good game, and I'm gonna like playing more of it. And I can't wait for it, like for more of it. And there's like they've already announced more DLC with the story mode. T Hill has gotten more into the story than I have, because, well, like I say, I've already said I'm working my backlog right now and trying to get some old games out of there so that I don't feel so bad looking at them. I never knew looking at a game would cause me guilt. So, like, but with that, like, with the couple hours that I have spent on it, it looks really good. Like, the art behind it, the voices is like, it's very Japanese. Like, it's very like very Japanese, old Japanese movies, like where it's like, I'm gonna get you, and it's like not before I get you, and it's a lot like that.
Lots of screaming, lots of yelling.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, why the fuck are you yelling? I'm only about 2 feet away from you. But but it's a lot like that, and and I love the Japanese movies and that old ones, but it's a lot like that, and it's a great game. It's a good buy. If like I recommend it and that to get it. Like I'm not comparing it to God of War, but if you liked the God of War series, I think you would like this and that. Like and any action adventure like that. If you like your the Japanese-esque games and that are over the top with a lot of action and that, I think this would be a good buy for anyone that wants it. So, anyways, that's it for me.
Okay, so you guys know I was excited for this game. I didn't know going into it how amazing this game is, and I'm gonna try my hardest because I'm gonna drop my review in the next day or two. But picture this: if you like picture Fist of the North Star having a kid with Dragon Ball Z that has a kid with, I don't know, Heavy Rain that has a kid with CyberConnect's Ultimate Ninja Storm. And when I say that, what I mean is Heavy Rain had overly heavy kind of QTEs. And they were all intentional, but they were so convoluted and mechanical, it felt kind of out of place with everything. I mean, it had served a purpose, but it was more like finger twister than anything else. You know, you look at games like anime like Fist of North Star. That's an old anime. I grew up on that anime and Dragon Ball Z, and the intense, visceral combat has never really been captured and carried over into video games. And when they have tried to, it's done mediocre at best. The closest the closest games that have ever captured an anime, and it's not to everyone's taste, is Naruto. That's the closest, and CyberConnect too. They're closest to ever recreating an anime in gaming form. And when you're playing Asura's Wrath, the line from anime, like say you bought a season or a whole series of anime, and you popped it into your DVD player or Blu-ray or whatever, and you played and you watched them all. That's how it feels when you're playing Asura's Wrath. It feels like that border that's normally between a video entertainment and a gaming entertainment is blurred. It really is blurred. And it throws notions that are very gamey, like wave after wave after enemy, locked off environments. The way a lot of the mechanics that are just designed into games are thrown away. The fat in this game has been trimmed. Even God of War is one of my favorite hack and slash games. And even after thinking about it and playing Asura's Wrath, because I've beaten it, there's a lot of fat in almost every single game. And you look at it and you say, hey, how developers added content just to make the game longer, so that way the consumer feels like they got their $65 purchase worth. So all those peaks and valleys, that's to extend the length of the game. But imagine if you just clustered all that together and said, okay, you want a roller coaster ride? You're going to get that from there's no ups and downs. It's straight up and then one straight crazy down, like you just went on Drop Zone or whatever at a roller coaster ride. I mean, your heart's racing and you can't put down the controller. So when you're in a cutscene, you don't know when you're going to be in the middle, when that's going to blur into a fight. And if you like that kind of combat, that kind of constantly pull you into the experience, Asura's Wrath does that. And, I've been gaming for over 2 decades now, and the only times I've seen games that capture that a universe so well, pull you into it so well, and if you're into this, it's got to be, of course, your taste. But the last time I felt like this was when I was really, really young, and Final Fantasy VI came out for the SNES. That's the one with like Ace and Terra and all them. And the second after that was Legend of Dragoon. And since then, there's been good titles that are like really good titles. Even Darksiders, which is one of my favorite franchises, but none of them like had everything that just pulls you in. And people complain about this game not having replay value, but there's actually real incentive story-wise to go back and play through the game. Unless you get everything on your first time through and you play the game on hard mode, you won't get everything. And how many people, with the exception of punk-ass Payback, actually can play through a game first time through on hard mode? Not many. There's not a lot of people that can do that. And that right there is incentive. There's so many things about this game, from aesthetics to combat. Combat's softer, it's a more approachable, but it's a more methodical the way you do things. It's not on the tech savvy side. If you're into games like, if you're looking for a Ninja Gaiden or a Devil May Cry, this isn't it. This isn't it. If that's all, if you like those deep mechanics, pass. If that's all you care about, because look at both of those games, those two franchises, they got doo-doo for story. There's no story there in those games. All there is fat. It's wave after wave, and you just practicing how technical you can be at a game. This game is the opposite direction. It's more about interweaving the story and having the combat be a part of the story, just like in an anime. Every time you see an anime try to come over to games, they find the most generic enemies and then just give you wave after wave of them. And then if you think about the bigger titles, how far away is that from them? There's good stories, but how much content is put in there to increase the gameplay? Set pieces that really don't have any purpose, don't serve a purpose in the story, but they're there. Enemies that are there, that's just that. So, I mean, I know I'm going off on a spill, but the game is phenomenal. If you like those type of games and are willing to, take a chance, you will love this game. I was beyond blown away. Shit, when we're done doing this, I'm going to go play it again.
Nice.
That's fire right there, ass. Payback, you still there, or did you fall asleep?
No, I'm there. I was listening to the whole thing, man.
Yeah, I've got a lot of passion for the title. My expectations were high, but by the end of the game, I was seriously like, holy shit, CyberConnect 2 fucking killed it. They killed it. And we already know there's DLC coming that's going to extend it because the story gets so much better. There's a big twist at the end. I don't want to ruin it for anyone. Holy shit, that game is tight. Buy it. Buy Azura's Wrath.
Hopefully it sells well, because hopefully they can do some sequels or something.
Yeah, I hope so. Dear God, I hope so, because if they don't, I'm going to go Debo every motherfucking gamer and be like, you're buying this game. I will slap you in the back of your head until you buy this game. I want my motherfucking sequel.
This could be like the next God Hand for Capcom.
When you play through the game, when you're done, Payback, when you get through the game and you start playing it, I know you played the demo, right?
Yeah.
So the demo is only reflective of one small facet, that smallest facet of the game. The scope of the story, the way the world is, the way the people are. Don't think of it like you're playing a game, and then you'll appreciate it 10 times more. You will like your appreciation for it, and it will make you actually challenge your mindset when you go into playing a game. That's what, like, when I was done, I actually had a fucking epiphany off of playing it. Like, worlds colliding and shit. The light bulb went off. No more deer in the headlights look.
Did your fedora get thrown across the room?
I seriously... I popped it in at about 3:45, and I stopped playing. I beat it that same night at about just shy of 1. But I was sitting in front of my TV, not even on my couches. I was sitting, like, not Indian style, but I was, like, sitting on my feet. And I was probably, I got that big ass TV, and I was probably about 4 feet away the whole time. I mean, I felt like a little kid watching the first time you're watching your favorite anime or favorite Saturday morning cartoon. That's how I felt. When was the last time any of you guys felt like that playing a video game?
Yeah.
Never.
Exactly.
Not in many years.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Yeah, and that's how I felt. I was like, holy shit, this is tight.
Alright, gotta go put this on GameFly immediately.
Kristen,
Alright,
you'll
so
love it. You will.
I have to give it a try tonight. Actually, after we do this, I'm going to start it. But I guess that's all the topics we have for tonight. Thank you to everyone who showed up. Shout outs to Hung Fat because he's an old man. He's got to go to bed.
Or does she?
But yeah, that's all we got for tonight, guys. I guess we'll just wrap it up. Any last words?
Come check out gamerswagger.com. We're doing it big, baby. Got to put my plug in there.
Okay. All right. That's signing off. This is Payback Iron Man, and from the rest of the team, that's it. Take care.
Peace.